Hello, I'm Ringroo.
I'm Graham.
Here today with another 1v1 from Wargame Bootcamp Discord Elite Tournament. We are on a nuclear winter. It's coming. Who is playing and what are you playing, Mr. Graham?
So on the right-hand side, Mr. Rangru, we have NBK playing as Baltic Front General. And then in the left, in the blue, we have Perfect Cherry Blossom, a.k.a. Balance, playing as Scandinavia General.
Indeed, and right off the bat, he's going to be opening up with a nice ASF to screen, which is always a pretty good idea on this map, considering the potential for tactical outplays.
You always got to watch out for that tactical outplay at the beginning of the game, Ring. You never know where it's going to hit you, how many of them will hit you. I mean, that's a very important question right there.
It's a very important question. We are seeing, of course, with Baltic Front opening up with some decent anti-helicopter helicopters. The so-called is going to be actually trying to get a few missiles off here against the F-16. And also a Scout Defender does get the kills on the helis.
Yeah, and the F-16 actually here coming in here trying to maybe get like a little snipe. I'm surprised NBK didn't open up with an ASF as well. Like you said, it's super common to see both players open up with ASFs to try and establish that control and also to ward off any helicopter openings, or at least give vision to it. But interesting, down south, NBK only bringing the Finnish Terminators into Foxtrot, and basically everything going hard here into Delta and Alpha, even with two M1 Wilkes actually called out. I love that tank for the 90 points.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty heavy task force. Of course, going into Delta is always a good and safe play. It's actually, the central deciding point on the map, and usually a bit more safer compared to trying to rush either Charlie or India.
Yeah, and actually, Balance here getting a Scout Defender pass. It was spotted by the Finnish infantry, recon infantry, forcing out a Sokol call out as long as a ZSU, but he might actually spot the fob here in just a second. I think he's actually going to get the spot on that. And that could be really critical for him, as we saw last week.
Does the fob get cover bonus or concealment bonus from being in the forest?
I don't know. Oh,
Doesn't matter.
I don't think he got a. I went to his viewpoint. I don't think he got actually physically.
We probably would have also seen a marker be dropped down as well.
Yeah, and there's none of those. So he does it. He's able to prevent that. Yeah. So he called out. He's called out the ZSU. Okay. And then two planes already in the opening here for Balance. You see him trying to pick that Salamandra again, running right over the mod. A little bit of damage, but nothing crazy.
And yeah, nothing also crazy really from Balance's side. He's just kind of setting up a decent defensive line around Delta and Charlie. Going to be bringing up an early CV onto the Charlie point. And yeah, he can't really commit too many offensive operations. He doesn't really have the concentration of forces anywhere.
Yeah, and both sides, though, I think, kind of go really standard here, Ring, with their openings. Like, we're going to see this. We're going to see that, like you called out, the CV going to Charlie. I imagine we'll see something pretty soon here from NBK. And both of them basically taking up standard positions, but NBK with the better positioning so far at Delta, fully securing that town right there and warding off any aggression into Alpha.
We're seeing a sneaky little Fennec play, but the KT will spot it, but the KT can't fight the Trinny Mills on that helicopter, so he's going to continue wrecking havoc on the rear.
Yeah, he's going to go there. He's going to pass right over those XAs. I mean, he might even be able to get a snipe right there. It'd be really interesting to see if he gets any real damage done. Multiple random crits there for NBK for some of his stuff in between Delta and Alpha. It's always funny to see. Oh, he calls to the early unload right there, trying to get hits there on the Pansara, which would be really nice for that Finnick. Oh, but no snipes on the transports, though, so you should be able to load back in here pretty soon and get them where they want to go.
Yeah, so Fennec not doing too much damage after that. Sergey mod coming in to finish on the job. And, yeah, we're seeing that Charlie CV being slapped into the point. Nothing else, really.
No, it's been a very slow pace here for the most part in the opening 5 minutes of this game. Both players are going to go ahead and get CVs into their 2-pointers. Though on opposite sides of the map, NBK taking the Foxtrot, which is actually kind of surprising. Typically you see that kind of mirrored. Not always, but you see it mirrored. Slight little push by Balance, I guess, coming from Charlie towards Alpha. But he's not really going to get much done here. And yeah, I like NBK's decision. I think he's calling out another CV for Alpha. I don't see where Balance can actually get any real damage done with what he has on the map right now, so you might as well try and CD up and get the points going.
It seems Balance is definitely with the units he's calling and is playing very defensively. I mean, he's bringing a lot of those M41 Walker Bulldogs, which everyone playing Scandinavia always loves taking 2 cards of. And they're not great for offensive operations because they run out of fuel by the time they get to the front line. But for 10 points, you slap them around everywhere. You got ice on everywhere, first off. And they have a decent enough firepower to ward off infantry and light armored vehicles. Very lightly armored vehicles, mind you.
Yeah, they're pretty lightly armored themselves. But they are really good, I think, for, like you talked about the price there at 10 points. Really good for your recon tab. And most players, like you said, bring both cards. Just adds a little bit of viability, or, you know, a little extra punch sometimes in situations. But the lack of fuel can be a real killer for them at certain times. As you see right there, there's 2 of them already almost completely out of fuel.
Yeah.
Where's the ping at?
Oh, it's in Delta. Spotted the ATGM troop.
Sees the spikes.
So you probably spike him with some rockets in return. We're seeing Alpha CV being put onto the point. I'm guessing India will be, coming out as well. So it seems like it's just going to become a battle over Delta, as neither side really took the, opening opportunity to rush on through and try to attack any of the 2-pointers. Delta's just going to make the most sense.
Yeah, here we might see a dip into the support tab from both players, because the longer they wait, the more likely it is that this game is going to be decided by the who has got more organic firepower and can create, and just chisel away at the other person's strength. But we do see some Fallschirmjäger moving here into Delta across the open. They're going to get in here, but they're going to be engaged before they can in the force line by the Commandosi. So we'll see if this might actually, maybe cause a stir for the first real engagement of the match.
Yeah, Fallschirmjäger taking some light casualties getting into the forest. Definitely require a little bit more fire support if you want to actually get into that town, and he hasn't really brought up a whole lot of fire support. Balance from spam and infantry, the M41 Walker Bulldogs. We haven't seen any real tanks or a heavy anti-tank play. Very much exposing himself to some sort of tank push.
Yeah, he definitely, it could happen. There are 2 Wilks on the field that they're kind of over there by Alpha right now. Yeah, we see the Fallschirmjäger push up there, and they get engaged by the Sergei, which has that nasty little 23mm ZU, quickly cutting down one of the squads down to 5 men, and some reinforcements are coming in here for NBK, so he's kind of all over this right now.
Especially if the Rilks coming in down south to support as well. Yeah, I don't think that Fallschirmjägers are going to make too much progress. He just needs more fire support.
Yeah, BCAN called out here by Balance, so nice to see. Basically, kind of proving us right, I think, for once in our casting ring, is that just immediately dipping into that extra firepower from your support tab makes sense, because it's clear this game's going to go a long period of time, basically the opening. Neither player suffered a decisive defeat or victory anywhere across the map, so I imagine they're going to just chisel away at each other for a little while.
Yeah, and then just looking at the long-range artillery, we got the BCAN for Balanced. And then NBK, he is more on the, I think, is it the Finns have the BM27 or BM30?
Yes. Yeah, BM27.
Yeah, so honestly, I think the BCAN really has the advantage, because as we see, it has a ridiculous rate of fire, and it makes very short work of infantry.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, its rate of fire. As we saw, even our cast last week, a BCAN was in one of the players' decks, but the loss of his fob basically rendered it, useless. There's no point in buying it just due to the amount of shells it brings in its rate of fire. Though I do like the Jurgen, and I have seen NBK use the Jurgen to really good effect. We've casted that here on your channel. So I'm curious to see what he gets done, but in just a traditional role, if we're going to have a long, drawn-out game where heavy Artie will make an impact, I would tend to agree with you. The BCAN is probably the better buy, long-term value. But the Jurgen can surprise you sometimes.
Indeed it can, especially when all those rockets are landing right on top of your position.
Yeah, it's a great suppressive tool. If you can utilize it on the offensive and really suppress the infantry in front of you, it does have the ability to also kill, because it does have a nice little packs of punch to it as well. You can get a lot of little pretty interesting pushes done with it. But as NBK, he seems very content to wait, sit it out. One BCAN isn't really going to scare him right now. He CV'd up, though. It looks like so will Balance. He's got another CV going to Delta as well. And yeah, I imagine we're going to see this continue here for a couple minutes.
Indeed. I mean, NBK is getting some more reinforcements up north with 2 baseline T-72s. Yeah, it still feels that NBK, he has the force projection to actually make a decent push, and he just has more concentrated forces on the front line, rather NBK investing in the heavy artillery definitely slows him down a bit in regard to getting frontline units. I mean, we're seeing the first tankies being brought up, the Leopard 1A5, which will die pretty quickly at contact, as it's just a Leopard 1.
Yeah, Leopard 1s are really cool. I think they're interesting. They have a lot of, I think, sometimes some upside potential. Like you said, in head-on engagements, they're really not that good. And they're also, because of the low armor, really not even that great at supporting your infantry. Whereas even the base T-72, it's only at 40 points, 11 frontal armor, right? So it's an
autoloader.
Yeah, and autoloader, right? And then this push right here is actually pretty nice from NBK so far. We see some recon infantry in front, along with KTs come up here. Get some suppression here on the Dragonairs as the T-72s and the Panzara move up as well, plus helicopter support, and the NASAMS is way back there.
Yeah, this is a very nice little concentrated push here. I'd probably be able to get into his forest at least, which allows you to springboard into attacking Charlie, and with just the lack of long-range AT here, yeah, I don't know, he doesn't really know about that lack of long-range AT. He could make a pretty decisive push into Charlie if he just gets points.
Absolutely. I want to point out, this is why the T-72 is so good right here. It has the 4 HE, 40 points. It just tanks those law shots, really doesn't care. If you lose one, we really don't care, right? And then here he goes and just wipes out that Danish infantry like it's breakfast.
Indeed. And then we're seeing Delta, things are actually starting to heat up a bit. We're seeing a whole heap of Scandi infantry backed up by those M41s. With the Rilks being brought into position, needs to be able to make short work of pretty much everything.
And two 1,000 kilos coming in hot right now, trying to hit these Commodossi. He will kill one group, but the other one's still alive. And the Wilks rush up here now, and they should make quick work of these M41s. And the other Commodossi peeled off and intercepted the Fallschirmjäger, and they'll win that CQC fight, I think.
Yep, and we're seeing immediate reinforcements here from NBK and the KT flying down south to get a good flank on here, because our scout defender can't do anything because he's just low on fire support. And yeah, Balance does have, he has the airplanes, he has the artillery, but he doesn't have enough frontline firepower to actually maintain a frontline.
Yeah, right now, NBK is really the driver's seat here. He's traded extremely well, and Delta is going to clean up all this infantry here. That wasn't cheap. They got the M41s, obviously they are, but a really decisive, I think, win for NBK. And honestly, he could push forward. He could totally push forward. There's only an AA piece really stopping him. I want to see if he actually decides to take the make a decision to do that, because he could snipe that CV and get the +1 going for him.
Yeah, and we're seeing a Fennec TOW 2 being brought out here from Balance. In the centre, there's not a whole heap of crazy anti-air, just still the Sergei mod spam. So that does have the potential of sniping a Rilk or two, especially considering them in the more open area of Delta now.
Yeah, these Wilks are actually pushing out now, so he does need to be careful. Like you said, there is its Fennec TOW up there, and there's really not much AA. The Sergei is back a little bit further back there. So NBK getting really aggressive with these tanks without anything to screen for him. Because he splits right there. Fighting Falcon coming in with the HE, trying to get more damage. Though it might miss completely here.
Yeah. I like NBK's positioning of keeping all the infantry in the back of the town. There's potential.
Oh, Rock Eyes though.
Artillery. Oh,
but he missed. He fired position. He does get the back end, a little bit of one, but really not that much damage. Now the Fennec TOW's going to come in here and try and clean up. But it fires its first shot there, killing the KT. He's only got 2 more. I don't think he can actually get a kill on either of these, even if it both connect.
Yeah. Retreating a bit too fast.
Yeah, these Wilks are going to get out of there. One does take a nasty little side shot there, but the Fennec isn't going to be able to push up. He's going to be able to repair these and get them back in the fight pretty soon.
Indeed. And we're seeing NBK bringing out a mortar piece up to the northern side. And we're seeing him also to push all the way far north with just a few Akari.
Yeah, he's got a little Panzer. The Panzer Jakari and the regular Jakari both pushing up there in the far north. I'm not really, it could cause a little bit of problems, but nothing crazy is really up there. We see the mortar getting some harassment fire there on the Fallschirmjäger. NBK trying to hold on to his little toehold there. He did end up losing against the. Oh no, he didn't. That's he just pulled all the way back. So, no, those are actually still alive.
Just need to get a little bit of repairs on them, and he's pretty much good to go.
Nice shot by the BK right there, getting a direct hit onto the road, destroying one of the KTs. Oh, and it's super close here to the CV. That's what happens when you have a gas truck. The BK might kill it, honestly, depending on the rate of fire. Yeah, and it.
He's immediately going to be up in the game. Yeah, the T-72 CV. I like that.
Yeah, should have been called out probably originally at that point. Flying Falcon coming in here as well. He needs to kind of. We need to see an effort here by NBK to put down these planes. Nice hit by the Neo. We'll see if we can get the kill here. And it does. Yeah, really nice pick there. And that really F-16 didn't get a lot of value accrued. But he needs to make sure he moves his stuff because that BK is just going to fire nonstop. Yeah, and a pup already called out to try and intercept.
Really curious to see, like you said before, if NBK are actually push on through. If he keeps on pushing up, then the artillery is going to become somewhat worthless as you get so close to the enemy front line. If he just sits here, he's just going to be taking more unnecessary casualties.
Yeah, and I feel like NBK should know that there's not much in front of him, right? You've seen the BK and you've seen the amount of planes, and all the sectors are filled with CVs, and you completely annihilated a push. I feel like, that should be kind of a major red flag that, hey, there can't be much in front of me. Because anytime these past 5 minutes rang, he could have completely taken over Delta.
Yeah. I mean, just look at the force. Just throughout this entire match, NBK has had many more ground units on the ground on the front line compared to Balance, who's been a little bit all over the place and still mainly just spamming infantry and M41 Walker Bulldogs. It's really just coming down to the airplanes, the helicopters, and the artillery to try to maintain the front.
Yeah, and we see right there the infantry does get slapped a little bit. That's the LVKV-90 thing, showing that it's not only just an AA piece, it's meant to kill infantry.
It's pretty much the Nimrod of Wargame.
Yeah, it's ghetto. It's the ghetto automatic.
Yes. SU-22 coming in.
Oh, but it misses with its seat. Now the radar is turned off. Wow, really unfortunate there for NBK. But this infantry is pushing forward. You have Commodossi supported with a the Wilkes a little bit further back right there, but the Fennec Toe trying to intercept. Oh, and that F-16 went real deep right there.
Oh.
Obliterated.
Yeah, it's just starting to look a little bit untenable here for Balance. He's taken a decent amount of aircraft losses, and those have been pretty important in maintaining this front line. I think he needs to get like an SCRV 121, some heavy duty frontline fire support to maybe try go toe to toe with those Rilks.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. He needs the STRVs if he wants to. Try and give him a good engagement. But here we see NBK. He does eventually make a really strong push here and just completely takes control over Delta. I mean, I guess on him, maybe the next... Oh, that SU-22 went really deep right there. I thought he would have recalled it. Oh, and the evac actually ordered for the F-16, so both the SU-22 will get away.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him. I also find it funny just down south. It's been utterly quiet. Yeah. Neither side wanting to really throw too much smoke. And I do get it. If you don't really do like an opening push, it's a lot of progress to make it open ground between India or Foxtrot from either side.
Yeah, it can just be really annoying trying to push down there if you don't go off the start, right? Because the later on you go in the game, like you talked about, it's so much territory to cover, and then you open yourself up because you know your opponent's probably going to hit you on the other side of the map at the same time. And so, it's really hard to do. I think here, if you're MBK, you try and hold Delta, but taking the crossroads could be big for him. If he could push up there and take out the Nordland Jaeger, he's in a really good spot. Oh, Dragonair's caught in the open here. BTR 50s and the XA with the NSV get actually some damage in on that infantry. But double Fallschirmjäger pushing up.
Yeah, MBK's frontline position is a little bit light now. He really needs to get those Rilks. He has 3 bloody Rilks now, so he can definitely afford to start throwing some up into the front just to deal with this Scandi light armor.
Yeah, whereas all the way over there in Alpha, Balance has made a push into it. He's got some Fallschirmjäger engaging with Panzer Jakari 90 right there. They should be able to 23 versus 9. Yeah, they're going to get the win there. And MBK is going to need to deviate off some more infantry to kind of contain that because there is an infantry push here. Really not a lot of extra firepower, but it definitely has enough, I think, to start making a little bit of a headache there for MBK.
Yeah, that's definitely a good push. He has in this case, the infantry advantage is using all these special forces, Fauci Miago troops, especially against Shikaris and forests. They don't exactly perform all that well. The Shikaris, yeah, it is.
Yeah, whereas at the same time, NBK decides to opt for the attack into the crossroads. He's going to get in there, though the Finnish recon infantry will go down. The Commodosia there, and CQC is what their master's at. And we see the Wilks also finishing off one Fallschirmjäger squad and providing critical fire support against the Nordlandjäger.
Very effective, yeah.
Yeah, and this push is basically dead here, the counterattack in Delta for balance. I mean, there's a Leopard 1 right here. It's going to go ahead and try and engage. It missed the first shot on the M1 Wilk, but the ATGM infantry, oh, it also misses too. That Wilk is super lucky. Oh, but there he goes. He finally gets hit there. Firing computer reset. And he might go down. He might lose that one Wilk.
Oh, I think he might be good.
The shot here from the...
Oh, of course, I should have just shut up. As usual, caster's curse. This is why we should just do these things silent, I swear to God.
Or just cast silently?
Yeah, we could just do sign language. But without, like, any video camera.
Right. And I don't know sign language, so it'd kind of just be making up random symbols.
Same, it would be like explosion, you just, like, start moving your arms all around. Airplanes, you just, like, zoom.
I don't know if people that use sign language would appreciate that very much.
Yeah, probably be a bit derogatory.
Yeah, we might want to cut that from the footage. We do see the BK opening back up now here, hitting the Commodosi, but not the Commodosi kill the infantry push. Also, the ATGM infantry caught in the open right there by the KT, trying to get some damage. And so far, I mean, NBK really is in the driver's seat right now as we reach roughly, a little bit past the halfway mark here. It's kind of, it's getting harder and harder to see where Balance is going to be able to really put himself back in this game, especially without any heavy armor or, really anything to tank for him. I mean, that Leopard 1's seeing a little bit of damage done here, but these two Wilks should make quick work of it. Though I'm surprised he hasn't repaired that one yet.
Yeah, he really is get that thing back into operational condition. But like you said, it's just a lack of ground game here from Balance is really screwing him over. I'm so surprised you haven't seen a 1-2-1. Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised what's going on in Goth here. We've got the Finnish recon infantry pushing through, that they have been spotted, and Balance is trying to deal with that appropriately.
Yeah, it's really annoying if you're him, right, at this stage of the game. You're trying to get together an offensive. The game's kind of steadily gone against you over the past 10 minutes. Yeah, these Wilks pushing up really aggressive now, trying to get some shots here into the ATGM. Oh, no, they're going for the Fallschirmjäger again. But, I mean, really, those RBSs have missed pretty much every single shot. They've had one good hit. Everything else. Oh, and the Scout Defender rolling right over the infantry.
Oh, wow.
He hasn't actually given an attack order, so it just flew right past him. You should turn around there and be able to finish him off, though.
Another preliminary smoke barrage, and the Commandosi are probably going to go for another end run into the Charlie factory. Not a whole lot of infantry to stop him, just at one Fallschirmjäger squad.
Yeah, he really, if he brings up a little more infantry, he has armor support. Honestly, if I'm NBK, maybe repair my stuff real quick before I go in, though the smoke can, act in multiple ways there. At the same time, he's launching a counterattack to clean up his flank in Alpha there. Those Fallschirmjäger, it's probably time for them to evacuate the dance zone here. Jakari coming out with T-72 Wilks along with the recon infantry and support and a Sokol. Oh, but the Nassums has seen the Sokol. And you see right there the AMRAM's going out. Direct hit. And that's the one thing right there, Rain, that I really don't like about the Nassums is how fast it fires those two AMRAMs. That typically you don't need that second missile, and it kind of ends up being a waste.
Yeah. That's a lot of supplies, especially in a 1v1.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. Whereas, yeah, I mean, overall, NBK still just in a really strong position. A continuous tick for about the past 15 minutes here. A counterattack kind of going in here for Balance, but really the Commandosi are just trading shots here with Fallschirmjäger, and that's going to kind of just continue the same way. Jakari on top of the other Fallschirmjäger with the BTR-50s providing some nice fire support right there as well.
Yeah. We're seeing the Bacans as well, the Bacan still continuing to pound away. But honestly, apart from that CV snipe, it hasn't really done a good job, I think, of actually keeping his infantry back.
No,
cluster.
Yeah, it really hasn't done a lot. I mean, yeah, sure, it's sniped, like you said, the CV, but that Jeep CV was begging to get destroyed right there. Like a mortar could have done that. Oh, we see there's the Jurgen, opens up, firing into the town complex. It has panicked all the Falcons from Yager there, and so we could see maybe a push here. Oh, almost a direct hit round top of it there as well. And yeah, these Commodossi pushing up.
Oh, we got the smoke being dropped, but the fighting Falcons going to be fighting back with some rather big bloody bombs.
Missed again, though. And the Commodossi right there on the edge of the town. Oh, but they're not in the building. He walked to the outside there, and the scout defenders clean it up right there. Commodossi squad goes down. But over in Alpha, it's back under NBK's control, and we see here the Wilkes engaging the Leopard 185, and it's going to have to pull back.
Just a good amount of infantry spam, and I mean, at the same time, NBK hasn't needed to bring up any super heavies of his own, because he hasn't really had to deal with any armor, which definitely benefits him in his offensive operations. He hasn't had to counter an SDRV 121 with the finished mod T72. He can just keep using these T72s, and like you said at the start, they're cheap, they're effective, whether it's the M1, the baseline, doesn't matter, 4HE, autoloader, they blap infantry.
Yeah, and MLU actually dived in right there, got a kill on one of the Wilkes, but something hit it pretty good and got a critical shot. I guess it might have been the Sergei. But yeah, I'm really still just overall liking NBK's position. Like you talked about, when you don't have any heavy armor of your own, I mean, the SCRV has been bought out, but it's kind of just chilling in the open over there near Gulf. It just allows NBK to utilize his 90-point tanks and his T-72s so well, because they're better than any other armor that Balance could put onto the field, and he hasn't had to dip in and been forced to dip into anything remotely heavy, and it's just giving him so much map control.
Yeah, and we are finally seeing an SDRV 121 being brought onto the battlefield, but currently right now it's a little bit unsupported, I'd say.
Yeah, he's kind of just chilling right there in the open. We see this SC-22 trying to find some picks. Oh, the NASMs and the automatic. Yep, going to get a kill right there. Went too deep with the seed. The automatic made him pay. But yeah, like you said, the SCRV really doesn't have a ton of support, though it is backing up those Dragonairs. So he might be able to... yeah, he probably should be able to get back into that quadrant there of Delta. But with the amount of time that's gone by, plus the tick, I mean, I don't even know if NBK will be that worried by the development there.
Oh, yeah. That's such a huge point advantage at this point.
Yeah.
For really balance, I think his best bet maybe just yeeting it into Foxtrot. He has a decent staging point with the Dragonairs are, and he just needs to neutralize a +2 sector.
I'm really not sure what the move is right there. Because like you said, at this point in time, the point lead is so heavy, you kind of have to do something crazy. You need a 2-pointer, and maybe try to make moves down Foxtrot. But it's not like Foxtrot's undefended, and NBK would see it coming. Plus, he doesn't really have any... Yeah, I don't know.
He'd have to, like, full send... yeah, he'd have to spend, like, a few minutes building up a decent force to try to shock and awe the Kari out of that Foxtrot town. But I don't think that's in the cards.
No, I don't think so either. BK trying to get a snipe on the Neo right there is unable to. Wilkes back up, and they're still not repaired. These Jakari will go down in the town complex, on the Crossroads complex there. But I mean, really for NBK. Oh, the Puff diving in real deep right there. Neo gets the hit. See if we can get the second hit on it. Oh, it is able to get out, but it's gonna be down for a while. Sometimes crazy watching that ring where you see that giant ass missile hit the back of that thing. It's like, I'm alive. I'm gonna make it out. It's like Tom Cruise is piloting it.
Yeah, it's like the missile's larger than the aircraft, but it's just so big it overpenetrates.
It overpenetrated. It went right through it, out of it, and the pilot's still able to maintain control. I'm telling you, it's Top Gun.
Honestly, some of these dogfights do feel like, especially in Warno, with all the chemtrails of the missiles.
Yes, yeah. Warno's dogfights are quite interesting, I think, to say the least. Though, to be fair, I feel like all of Eugen's games, you can kind of say that about the air combat. Like, I think everyone has their gripes about all of them when it comes to that. But yeah, it's pretty much you see here. I mean, Balance looks like he's going to try and make some more pressure into Alpha, but that's a pretty strong position right there for NBK, and it's pretty easy for him to defend. He's going to sneak the Sneevee here back into Delta, but I mean, if you're NBK, well, I mean, it really doesn't matter at this point. You've given yourself such a huge lead, over 200 points at this point in the game. is pretty massive.
Yeah, at least one benefit here for Balanced is that he didn't lose that CV when it evacuated out of Delta, so it's not really stopping his frontline reinforcements right now.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, there could be an opening, I guess, for Balance if he wanted to get into the town here. It's been the defenses there have been weakened over time. I think if you got some smoke, put that in front, might really be able to get a lot of infantry in there, and that could develop into something for sure. But he's got to reach pretty far. Plus, it is a T-72 command take as well, so it won't just automatically die. Oh, and NBK pushed out in the spike. Nice pick there for NBK, who've been trading a little inefficiently over the past couple minutes.
Yeah, he's taken like some heavy losses and been forced out of his. He's very close to getting Charlie, but not anymore.
Those were actually some really nice Jurgen shots, stunning that infantry, buying him a little bit of time, I think, here. And we see infantry already flooding in. He's anticipating a push here. And I think that's really all Balance can do. I mean, he might have to push Alpha and Delta at the same time and just hope he can break in one of the areas. But taking a 1-point sector rank, like you said, I don't think that gets him the win.
Yeah, Balance needs to push heavy up north into Alpha and try to neutralize it immediately, but he doesn't have the forces yet. He'd need to buy another CV, which slows you down. And at the 8-minute mark, I mean, not looking good. That's for damn sure.
No, not at all. 8 minutes here left on the clock right now. Balance trying to make some moves happen. Losing infantry in transports to spike missile teams. That's going to hurt big time at this stage of the game. He's going to lose another one. Yep, and that one's going to... The whole squad's dead. Oh, no, they're not. Okay, it's half. But yeah, those Dragonaires getting unloaded right there. That's going to hurt him. Infantry's already been brought up. 45 Commandosi are holding that town as this push also at the same time... Oh, no, NBK going on the offensive right here in Alpha, preempting any moves by Balance. And he might actually get some damage done here.
Yeah, he did lose one of his Rooks to F-16, but that's not really slowing him down. He still has a whole heap of Finnish infantry to lead to front. Oh, that's... I don't... Yeah, it's not going to make too much more progress.
Yeah, the SCRF
cheap vehicles.
Right, yeah, that Bofors 40 mil just tearing up some of that Finnish infantry right there. And you see the Jakari right there with the base law. Just they can't even hit. You know, they couldn't hit a barn right now the way they're shooting. F-16 just obliterated them.
I think we're going to be seeing a counterattack into Alpha here from Balance. Oh yeah, he's got 2 Chinook armed infantry here. Don't know where he's going to be. Send them into Delta?
Charge of the Chinooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing Delta. I mean, he's fully committed. It's multiple Dragonair squads right there. SCRVs coming up as well, along with the Nordlandjäger. But it's going to be a hard push. There's Commandosi, there's Wilkes, there's more infantry coming in as well. Plus, time is just so against him at this point. With, well over 200-point lead for NBK. With that, unless you get a massive tactical outplay somewhere on the map, I really don't see where this game goes. Other than NBK win.
It's really just going to be his best shot from here on out. Might as well just select an attack move and see what happens. Screw the KD.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't see that more often with some players sometimes. Right? I mean, I think we talked about that at Catswins. Is like, you're losing. It looks like in 5 minutes you lose anyway. You might as well just send it all, right? You never know. Maybe you'll break a front that you didn't expect. To the BK, and they're going for the CV snipe again. But fortunately for MBK, this isn't Warno, and his tank will be safe.
Yeah. The artillery won't tactically nuke him from afar.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. I can attest that does go down on Warno sometimes.
Especially with the AI controlled counter battery. It's probably a bit too good.
It is too good. This is my outlet to communicate with Eugen right now outside of my stream. Counter battery too good. Please get Razman on the case. But we do see here, Balance is pushing up these Nordlandjäger. They're just getting massacred by these Panzer Jakari, even though there is some good fire support coming in from the mortar right there. But it's not going to be enough to break this position. And honestly, the BK needs to be brought in for fire support here.
This needs everything he can get, yeah. But once again, just lack of ground-based fire support. That Leopard 1 is no T-72. You can't really do too much, yeah.
No, it's really not. Like, I mean, honestly, 3 or 4 bait T-72s would be better than the one Leopard 1 right now for what he's trying to accomplish, right? And that one Wilk hanging out there in the back, I mean, sure, it's the other MLU has been brought out. Yeah, there it goes. Oh, but the mod M1 mod is actually coming out, but the MLU is probably going to go kill the T-72 M1. We see it fly over right now. Shot Maverick missile going out. It should get the kill, and it does. But the M1 mod will now push up and just take its spot. And something I haven't noticed just till now, Rang, is not a single fighter plane called out by NBK this whole match.
You're right. Has he brought out... he's brought out the seed planes.
Brought the seeds, yeah, the 2 seed SU-22s. And he brings both cards of MiG-29s available to Baltic Front.
Yeah, it's honestly a... He's definitely been investing more heavy in just the baseline ground game. And honestly hasn't really hurt him. He's managed to gain a huge amount of territory. And the airplanes hasn't been that much of a threat. He's lost a tank hero, yeah, but it was replaceable.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. He has lost a couple of tanks. I'm just kind of curious to see, no fighters called out whatsoever by him. But you're right, it really hasn't... Well, the planes, like the MLU, have gotten kills. They haven't been consequential. And so it looks really nice on the scoreboard, but at the end of the day, it didn't help accomplish, anything in terms of getting a victory on the board or supporting, like, a push. Yeah, because you see here, M1 mod pushed up. There's really nothing to counter. He's going to need another plane, too, but he doesn't have one currently. MLU fired. The F-16 with the rock eyes is dead. And this infantry, these Kustjägers, just getting mowed down right here in the open. Elite Swedish infantry. Did you notice? I never noticed they have no helmets on.
The Kustjägers?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're right. They got like berets.
It's ballsy right there.
It's all about the fashion,
It is. Fashion is really important.
It is. Like, 50% of, like, military uniforms is to be effective. The other 50% is to look cool.
Right. Who's got the sexy-looking uniform?
Yeah.
Kustjägers, that hot green the green beret as they shoot up into the air.
Honestly, the best animations.
It is the best animation. Actually, another M1 mod brought out here by NBK. Yeah, and he's pretty much got this in the bag right here. I don't see nothing going on down south right here. I think we have 2 minutes, 52 seconds going on. But I think he's going to go out here and secure a pretty decisive victory these next couple minutes, right?
Indeed, we can take us to it at ×2. We're at 240. ×2. Because there's not really much else to say about this. Balanced is a buggered. Maybe he should have played Maverick Income.
Yeah, or I mean, really, maybe Vanguard just gone all in,
Oh, yeah. Oh, he brought out the run-2, run-up north, but they got side-shotted by the spike and immediately blapped. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it, but he's going to be holding out to the end.
He said there is no surrender. There's only do or die, and balanced will die. That's unfortunately for him. We do see the M1 mod push coming in here. Also support with the infantry. The tanks going in, and there's actually nothing remotely on the map that can stop those tanks right now. They would legit have to suicide themselves. Drive into a lake or something.
Oh. Be blapping everything with all the Akari gathering around.
Yeah, we see some helicopters brought in. Some is this a Rangu? Is this a helo rush? Helos right here.
That's... Oh no. Well, there's not that many of them, so I think it's good.
Okay.
Yep.
So 4 is okay. I just want to know.
4's okay.
Okay, alright. Wonderful. I just wanted to make sure the viewers know.
And there we go. Actually, a very close KD. I guess NBK kind of got blapped at like the 10-minute mark and lost throughout frontline coverage.
I also think the planes for balance got a lot of kills, but they really didn't impact the course of the game because there was never anything to support what his planes were doing. So, like, it felt like to me that the KD was probably going to be relatively close overall, but NBK always was in control of the map. And at the end of the day, map control with CVs accruing you more points, that's how you win.
Yeah, it was like pretty different from how other nuclear inter-incoming games usually go, because there's usually some crazy motorized push in one or other sectors of the map. But when it comes down to the grindy play, you just secure Delta, you set up the other sectors with some ATGM infantry, some baseline infantry, cheap tanks, good to go. Yeah, and it's just a really solid play there by NBK. One thing I like on that map specifically, like you talked about,
even going like Baltic Front motorized is really popular there. It would have been kind of cool to maybe see one of the players do something like that to try and dictate the early engagement. Because after it just felt like NBK, once he had Delta under lock and key, it was going to be really hard for Balance to win that game.
Yeah, I really expected more from the Bacan. He was like the one-hit wonder, getting the CV kill, but after that, he just tickled some infantry for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, once again, Graham, thank you very much for joining us as usual.
You're very welcome, Rain. Thanks for having me.
And as usual, guys, please just take it easy.